Oh, the anticipation. I didn't even have to ask you to be quiet. Hi, good evening. Welcome to Mind Over Slammer Bristol. Nice. I go by the name of Miss Yankee. I'm a spoken word poet. I'm one of the directors at Mind Over Matter Arts, and I run Poetry Prescribed. Bear with me tonight because I'm used to hosting, but this is the first time I've hosted a slam and not been in one. But Mind Over Slammer is a brand new national poetry slam brought to you by Mind Over Matter Arts in partnership with Poetry Prescribed and the Arts Council England, with total grand slam prizes of £1,800 up for grabs. Yeah. I wanted a £5 prize fund, but apparently we've got to work our way up to that. So Mind Over Matter Arts is a community interest company focused on elevating the arts by providing stages for artists to express through spoken word, hip hop and song. They were founded in 2017 by poet and rapper Fisky, who woke up one day after 20 years of grief and addiction and thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to start this event. He did one led into another, and now here we are years later, still doing it and providing a platform, a safe platform for people to come, share and express. Poetry Prescribed, essentially we do just that. We prescribe poetry in the form of workshops, and our aim is to inspire thought, to inspire creativity. Both of us believe that providing individuals with kind of healthy and creative outlets for self-expression can positively impact mental health and well-being, and that's ultimately why we started this. So this is a safe space. This is a safe a place for you guys to just express, to be free to express. There's a lot of things that are, there's a lot of misconceptions about slam and what slam is and what slam isn't. Tonight is a poetry night, but we've got a panel of judges and ultimately there'll be a prize. But the centre of everything tonight is still the poetry. We have a lady called Anna Sinsky in the building as well. She's our resident psychotherapist, and she's there just on hand to support our participants. It can be hugely nerve-wracking and anxiety-inducing getting up on a stage at the best of times, let alone getting up on stage and knowing that you're competing. So she's just on hand to help. She also runs regular psychotherapeutic workshops called Connect Online, which you guys can find out about on our socials. So, back to tonight's slam. Are you ready to hear a bit more about what's going to happen and what's going to unfold? Yeah. Okay. So we have 12 poets and 3 rounds of poetry. The first winner and the first runner-up tonight will go through to our grand slam finale in Leicester Square in London. All expenses paid as well. Cost of living, we've got to make sure you guys can get down there. Okay. So round 1, all 12 poets will get up on this stage and perform. Round 2, the top 6 will come back and perform a second poem. We will then have an incredible headliner, Bristol's very own Craft D. More about him later, but please make some noise for Craft D in the building. And then our final round will see our top 3 poets battle it out for our winner and our first runner-up, who will go on to the grand finale. So, rules. You get 3 minutes. I'm not going to interrupt you if you go over, but we will be timing you. You'll get 10 seconds grace, and then after that, every 10 seconds you go over, you'll have points deducted, 0.5 for every 10 seconds over the limit. So please try to be conscious of time. There are 5 judges tonight, and each of those judges will give a score out of 10, and our criteria for scoring is poetic language, idea and theme, tone and mood, performance, vocal strength and emotion, and fluency. Now, poetry is subjective, and we're well aware that whether we like it or not, there's always going to be an intrinsic bias, or people might relate more or less, but we've done this in the fairest way that we can, and all of the judges have a detailed criteria as to what it is that we're looking for. So it isn't just a case of, oh, I like that one. They will be looking at all of that criteria with each and every poet that gets up on this stage. We've gone for 5 judges because what we'll be doing is we will remove the lowest score and the highest score and then you'll get a score out of 30 based on the average score in the middle. And that just allows for any kind of major bias or major low, and evens it out as best as we can. Last but not least, before we get started, audience etiquette. I can already see that you're a friendly and welcoming audience, but it is incredibly nerve-wracking, or can be nerve-wracking, getting up on this stage and bearing your soul to a room full of strangers. So please support our poets when they come up here. We accept clicks. Can we just practice some? You know, if you hear something that you like, don't be afraid to give it a little click. If you don't really feel like clicking, we also accept mms and yeah. Obviously nothing too loud or crazy because we don't want to put the poets off, but if you hear something you like, let them know that you like it. Let them know that you hear them. Let them know that you're connecting with what they're saying up on this stage. That's about it for now. So would you like a sacrificial poem to open the stage? Okay. Put this here. So, what will I do? Should have thought about this, shouldn't I, before we started? Okay, this one is called, actually it's been released and its official title is How Would You Feel, but its actual title is Fuck the Police. How would you feel if your son was illegally stopped and searched on a regular basis? How would you feel knowing that people walked by your innocent child and didn't say shit? How would you feel if your son was arrested on charges that were baseless? How would you feel if your son was illegally stopped and searched on the basis of his race, but if you call it, it's a card that you're not supposed to play, but they're playing with the life of your child like it's a game, and society keeps on telling you that it's perfectly okay? How would you feel? How would you feel if you were told to swallow that anger and be gracious? How would you feel if your son was mentally ill and guilty of no crime other than losing his mind, but was still treated like one of those black boys in hoodies that they demonize in the papers? How would you feel if that same son was restrained like an animal and threatened with a taser when he's already in cuffs and doesn't pose any danger? How would you feel? Because I feel sick to my stomach. And my mouth is full of blood from biting on my tongue when I should be speaking up. I wrote this because I'm angry at the way we let the police discriminate against our children when there are laws they're supposed to keep. I wrote this because I'm sick of being told, not all police, when so many are complicit in the silence that they keep. Are you not your brother's keeper? I see you see but do not speak. I see you stand and watch your brother beat a black boy till he bleeds. You claim to be a good cop. You say you care about the streets. But how can you be an angel when you support the devil's deeds? What kind of dick would insist that the police force is no longer institutionally racist? Cressida, it's been more than 20 years since McPherson. Aren't you the same person that in not so many words said it was hard to imagine a day when institutionalized racism was curbed? And now it's magically gone away. Please. Do you know how many times I've pressed play on my timeline only to find black boys guilty of no crime being harassed by your thin blue line? So either you're being disingenuous or willfully blind. But I don't have time for your for your big white lies. It's easy to turn blind eyes when racism and police brutality isn't your reality. When the system in which we live continues to spoon-feed racist mentalities, it's easy to deny my truth and maybe even feel a little bit mad at me for making you uncomfortable with words that will be over in a minute, when every minute of the day a black life is reminded why it still doesn't matter to a system that hasn't paid for its crimes against humanity. Fuck the system. Fuck the police, fuck your feelings and fuck formalities. And if you have to question why I'm questioning moralities, perhaps you need to think on what you've accepted as normality. Thank you very much. Okay, the other thing that I need you to make sure you do is make so much noise for each and every person coming up here, and you keep making noise until they touch this stage. Poets, the time will start from your first word. That's when the clock will go, okay? Also, please, no preambles, no big introductions, no explanations of your poems. You just get up, get behind this mic and slam. Is that good? Yeah. Okay, so please make some noise for our first slammer, Sam J. Grudgins.
Your mother is a postal worker. She only writes in ceramic, swells her hand, widdershins, your address, public intassiography, the last dregs of the last words to you that she promised she never said. Your brother is an overdraft. Your brother, addressee gone away, returned to sender. He does not live here anymore. There's nothing but postcard reminders of his existence and a honey, sticky blue tack bleach residue on walls from where he tried to store his memory. Your father is forgotten like so many others. Your father's name is mispronounced and you are thankful for small sympathies, his noun, an abstract that must be, and so shaped itself into language and was left in words not said. You have so many names for yourself that you covet them. Mr. never learned how to say no. Mr. perpetually in probation. Mr. can't hold down a job like it's choking him. Mr. can't hold on to a relationship like it's poison, stubbing out always your final cigarette in that pack that you were always quitting in ashtrays fashioned from last night's promises. You called yourself something that needed an escape plan, something last minute to run away from, but you never thought about the two of running. The destination was always less important than the leaving. You breathed harder than most. With your hurricane chest made up of nothing but exits, you leave behind empty spaces that look like allergens. You are so scared of heights, but you cannot think of anything other than flying away, away, away from here. Seeking some far-flung, forgotten corner of the get-out clause, you get to the airport and you know that they are going to ask you if you have packed the bags below your eyes yourself, and I know that you do not have time to unpack all of that in public. You put your everything up for show. Tell them that you are not a threat to anyone but yourself. Find they will not let you board if you do not know where you are headed. Find away from here is not the answer that they needed. You search around for your passport response, your get out of everything clause, and find there is no amnesty for loss. There is no embassy to protect those who declare themselves and no nation state, with your family hanging over your head like a no-fly zone, some mismanaged wish you were here that you cannot rid yourself of. And so you return. You return to what passes for home, that same journey every night. You return to find all your unanswered questions waiting in porcelain on the doormat, with this correspondence writ sour in the cage walls of your ribs, and you think to yourself, what a beautiful word that found family is. Thanks.
Sanjay Grudges. What a way to open a slam. You said my brother is an overdraft. So many beautiful lines. Something that I totally neglected to say while I was introducing the rules and the scoring is those of you that have been to slams before might have seen kind of people holding up scorecards and doing all of that. We are not doing that tonight. The reason we're not doing that tonight, as someone that slams multiple times, when you're getting scored immediately after your poem and everyone's getting scored, you end up sat there as a poet, kind of working out where you are and what other people have got, and it becomes about the scores and the points instead of the poetry. So everyone's being scored tonight, but the focus is not going to be the score round after round, and you don't have to sit there wondering, oh, what did I get and what's the other person got? We're just going to get on with the poetry tonight, okay? Okay, so on deck is Elliot Valentine. But next, coming to slam, please give it up for Erin McDonald.
There was a girl She doesn't live here anymore. He swore he saw her through the window, but then I blinked and she was no more. In my binder and boxes, I am magic, transformed momentarily into a person I asked for, like a Christmas present, like a prayer, like a war cry, late at night with my eyes squeezed shut, teeth clenched like a border between brain and body. Her body rests here somewhere, buried in my grave. I can't say I ever missed her. She never asked to be saved. They appear sometimes. In moments on intakes of breath before the mirror, I see them on me, opalescent and slippery like silk through soft fingers. On days when these clothes fit just right, only under certain light, sometimes at night in the chaos of club toilets, I see them, sweaty and shining from a body moving the way no one else asked it to. Strength visible in their arms, thighs hot from pushing into dance floor. They grow from me like a time-lapse mushroom, blossoming from the dirt of other people's shoes, and then I lose them again. Brushed away by someone else's side-eye, I lose them to the glass of it. They drip from the mirror and down the plug hole, and I walk out of the bathroom like I was never there. Like they were a secret I only allowed out in private, but when I saw them, I knew it was love. There was a girl who used to live here, but now I've taken her place. Sometimes they tell me they miss her, even though she still lives in my face. Thank you.
Bristol is not playing. Bristol, you guys are serious. There are only two poets in. I feel sorry for the judges, man. This is going to be very close tonight. Okay, on deck is Mina Jaff. But please welcome to the stage our next slammer, Elliot Valentine.
Ten things I wish I could tell you. A letter to my rapist. 1. I hate you. I hate you for what you took and what you continue to take, even though you're no longer in my life. The old chat screenshotted read back daily like holy scripture. I hate you for letting me thank you for the rape. Although back then, of course, I didn't know that's what it was. I hate that you said you love me because you only said it in midst of violence, and no adoration and aggravation become equatable to a damaged teenage mind too. I miss you. Or maybe not you yourself, but the you I created in my head to override the real man stood in front of me. The jeans dropped to the ankle, socks odd and wonky. I miss the gentleness I craved from you and the aggression you met me with. I miss the hand at night I never felt, the heartbeat that always ran slower than my own, fear-induced tachycardia. I miss the way that for a second after it, I thought that it was going to be okay and we could move past it. Stupid, naive me. 3. You broke me. You took what trust I had, crumpled it into a ball and threw it away like exam revision you didn't want to do. And it scares me sometimes to realise just how badly you damaged me. You locked the door to recovery and swallowed the key, left me like Sarah in her labyrinth. Forever I will remain searching for a way to clean the hands, to rub the blood off of me. My brain will remain forever altered, your face etched into everyone I continue to share my bed with. The expectation of pain already given and left on the table like cold coffee. 4. You tried to die at the end of June. And I wish you did. And I wish you didn't. I wish it was me who got to see you lying down in your bathroom, your mouth foaming and wrist bloody. I wish it was me who did it. I wish it was me who killed you in a mockage of how you killed me. But it wasn't and it won't be because I remain better and stronger than you. 5. I retract my earlier statement. I don't hate you, nor did I ever. More so the opposite. I loved you so hard it broke my bones and fractured my jaw. I loved you till my stomach heaved and bowel coated the floor. Ever the optimist, I prayed to a God I didn't even believe in, that maybe, just maybe, you love me too. Maybe you loving me will erase the pain, the edges fuzzy and imprinted, second page of my diary, green ink. It will be different this time. He won't touch me if I don't let him. If only I knew you couldn't lie to yourself as much as I did. 6. I miss your cats. I miss Little Man and Like, and I hope one day they'll escape you too. I hope you leave the door to your flat unlocked and they'll run as far as their little paws can take them. You deserve to be alone. I want them to know how sorry I am, because even though they never knew what was happening, they bore witness to a human horror none should ever sever. I dream of you often. Graphic, violent dreams where I watch you tarnish my already broken body over and over. Dreams in which I watch you do the same to my girlfriend, and I'm stood silent in the corner, unable to scream or intervene. Dreams in which you hold me. Dreams in which you kiss me. Dreams in which you tell me you're sorry, you'll never do it again. Dreams in which I believe you ate. I feel sorry for you. I don't want you to go to jail, and a part of me doesn't even want to see you punished, although you deserve it. I wish I could save you for the things I've done, but salvation will never come to you. I am no Messiah, nor are you a prophet, and we are sinners on this green earth. Confessional will never be enough to cleanse your soul. 9. Everyone I ever loved will know your name and resent the sound of it. You will be handed down as a reason to why I act and think the way I do. The creator, the damager, the traitor. Your name will drip like poison from the tongue, not shunned, but shackled and shamed as a man who failed to bring food to the castle 10. I hope one day to see you in passing. By then, I pray the fear will have passed and the sight of you won't make my breathing quicken and my heartbeat race. I hope by then I've moved on and recovered, left that fragile part of me behind. I'd see you, you'd see me. I'm unsure if you recognise me properly. I'd ask you for coffee. We'd sit, we'd talk about life. Before I leave, I think I'd tell you I forgive you.
Incredibly powerful list poem. Haunting metaphor. Such a great piece. Thank you for sharing. On deck, Ben Vince. But our next slammer goes by the name of Mina Jaff. Please make them welcome to the stage.
Old man walks into a bar to bear his lonely heart. Old man walks into a bar with his soul scarred all apart. He sits down next to me. Weary-eyed, teary-eyed, eyes me up. Will I be the one to stop a moment and hear him talk? To spare a thought for him? He says I was a soldier, love. Look at me, can't you see me, dressed so fine, military attire, full of fire in the prime of my life. It was a younger time. And I wouldn't know how the story would go. He's got tears in his eyes that are dripping down his nose. He looks at me, says he needs his story told. I killed for king and country, now I swear it's killing me. Diagnosis is PTSD, medical authorities call me mad, call me crazy. I'm not crazy, am I? And I don't know what to say. Maybe a man is, but maybe a man's seen it, not all, but enough to make a politician blush. He says don't make heroes of the ones left alive, they're just the ones who survived. They're just the ones who survived. The heroes are the ones face down in the muds, and why can no one ever tell you their names, love? I remember theirs, each and every one, and their faces fly like a bird in flight across my eyes. And they wonder why I drink, and you wonder why I cry, and I say all I did was try. The past does not rest easy on the lives of living men. He only let one man die, one man down, let him fall face down. Down there, though, is a different tune and sound to sing to, one we must remember to listen to. PTSD pretty soon sounds simple for those who saw the sights we cannot sleep through. He cannot sleep. This man needs a Valium, he said. You got 2 quid spare? I need a little something to get me to sleep. Hot sun is sweating here, and addictions beat a new rhythm into the prison the world has made for him. He is spiraling but cannot speak of it. None will hear of it except those who are willing to listen to it. He asks for Xanax as he's gone from A's to B's, and he's proud. He's almost sober, out of respect for the military soldier he used to be. Now there's a bartender come over with a look upon his face. Mate, why the look of disgust at your brother? Beckoning with nothing words, he's asking if he's begging. I beg you to listen a moment and ask whether you want him gone, because he reminds you of a world gone wrong. We talk and chat a little more, and he says, God bless you, girl. I'd have done something stupid if you hadn't talked to me, and I still don't know what he means, but that look on a tear-torn face tells me he ain't telling lies. Something was in the air tonight for him. Old man says he's been walking into bars for years, bearing hearts to those that would look right past him. Says he's past caring, not faring well these days. Feels an age away from the man he used to be, and you don't want to see that man beneath. Dressed so fine in youthful prime, holding mirrors to those that would pass him by.
Make some noise for Mina. Wow. I love storytelling in poetry. Storytelling in slam form, though, works marvellously. Thank you. On deck, Bronwen Wilson. Our next slammer is Ben Vince. Please make some noise.
Moondance. He told me to rim him the same way the sick ask for food, water. Me. That midway crack whistled cadence, soundbite of broken whale song fuzzing the radio waves, chittering voice break, dolphin click, as if on the brink of drowning, as the neck muscles contract to resist the pressure. And then, as I plunged, nerve deep, whirlpooling him, he breached the crystalline ocean surface, gasping for air, and I thought of the power in that moment I held over his body. A moon swishing the sea through its tides, in, out, in. I was the rhythm that pairs space with earth. I was Gaia, Uranus, heaven, and the mortal world. And hell's gate spiraled shut on the seafloor.
Give it up for Ben. Wow, that was audacious. Okay, on deck is Zyga. Next, we welcome to the stage Bronwen Wilson. Make some noise.
Get pegged. I've heard the word pegging more in the last few days post-Met Gala ball, where everyone was aiming a sword, pro this, anti that. My social media screen smeared with discussions of whether the patriarchy wants it up the bum or not. Intermingled with vibrators, aubergine emojis, and my thumb scrolling over images of fingers fingering this and that. Why did the aubergine get landed on as our vegetable dildo? Is it because it's purple? It's not because of its structural integrity, I can tell you that. A carrot would have been better, a heritage one, if the colour was important. In my case, my first teenage experience was with the handle of my hairbrush, one I'd had since a child, wooden and smooth, so no chance of splinters, except the one that would rent my consciousness in two when handled correctly. But back to the peg. A word I associate with hanging my washing on the line outside. Small squares of cloth that clothe my baby's bums. These pegs I have were my mum's, and some of them unbelievably belong to her. No one in their right mind would put these up their arse. Maybe clipped onto a nipple, divine pain as they clack. To peg is to pin, to fasten and keep, to mark a predetermined level, to change pitch on a violin, to fix or hold. When a man is pegged, are we fixing them in place or changing their key? It would be good to change the major key of patriarchy. And when they're pegged, are they being put in a defined category, peggy, or do they just need to be held in a loving embrace? What of all the rest of us, all the other people who use whatever tool we have around to enter one another and ourselves? Are we free to become unstuck because not limited by a verb? Those of us who are queer, who have vulvas, not dicks, or who have dicks, who like other dicks, we do not need a name for what we do with our bums. It's just sex in the end. Those of us who need this word, we've got them pegged. It's okay, though. We know you're not gay. I spent one wet, windy, dark night trying to hammer tent pegs into the hard ground, attempting to hold the canvas up above my children's head, hoping they sleep safe in their bodies, safe in the knowledge that they are held, but loosely enough they can find their own pitch.
Wow. Make some noise! Bronwen, I don't think I'll ever hang my washing without thinking about that poem. Awesome, okay. On deck is Jada, but now please welcome to the stage, Zyga. Make some noise, guys. Come on, give the levels up. I got you. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
Hamlet and the Amazon. I stood at the edge of the sink, beholden to my wrists, caught in the why and for what. My mother's face brought me back, but still I held on to the question of me. Me, caught in the feed. How do you like? When you chew your fingernails down to nubs and your eyes are revealing your mind, visions of I don't know enough, or perhaps I know too much. So tell me, how do you go on? Scrolling through seas of online streams of me, and he versus she, they versus them, isn't it all just we versus we? Well, sometimes it seems survival is contingent of thinking of your own me. But how? When there are children who are not free, and broken hearts and broken homes might never be mended, while bodies continue to wash up, face down, pile up, drift to the shores of plastic seas that rise with heat invisible. Visible. Flame-consuming trees, ash-stricken air, starving bears, islands devastated by not just storms, but lack of aid and care. How could anyone forget? From action to action, fraction to fraction, our legacy is our doing. All of this continues to be felt, heard, seen. But when the dangers of oppression are blamed on the victims of oppression, it's enough to make your head spin, drop down to depression as you take in manipulation from those who seek to gain, even at dangerous costs. But sometimes I cannot help. Not on my own. What don't I know? So I fall to my own, what do I need now? Because all I am is time, but I don't have time, so I go back to the Amazon in my prime. What is my prime? Now, in 2 days, in 2 hours' time. When the here and now, in a mindless jungle, it doesn't seem to be enough. You have to keep smiling. It's how you keep fighting. Holding on to the reminder that all we have and have ever had and will ever have is now. And the fight for now is for a day where perhaps less of us will be hungry and afraid. So I stood at the edge of the sink and let go of the blade.
Make some noise. That was so powerful. Such wonderful wordplay as well. Really emotive. I love that. Thank you. Okay, on deck is Steve Selby. But now, please welcome to the stage, Jada.
In this world, it isn't exactly as it seems. Everything they taught us isn't exactly what it means. Schemes plotted in the eye of the night. Would you believe me if I told you that the darkness is the closest thing to the light? It's funny how it rhymes with white. To paint an image of favour, an imaginary saviour. Divide and colonise countries doesn't illustrate an impression of divine nature. The transformation of vibration to paper. Focus on working and save working on emotions until later. None of it makes sense. Yet, in an attempt to shine my light, they roll their eyes and think, here she goes, throwing in her 2 pence. But what if it was golden? And the information you've been fed's only intention was for your moulding. So had somebody come along and introduce you to freedom, you would instantly implement your scolding. What if all the prophets from all religions are just reflections of how you too are the chosen? Shh. Keep it a secret. Leave it unspoken. Forgive me, for I cannot oblige your request.
I am here for the awakening where generational curses will be broken. I would unquestionably use my life as a token, like the ones you put into those machines to win a prize. If it meant I had one shot at lifting you out into the hands of eternal life. Because it is painful to watch you trapped in a glass box full of lies. Even when you smile, some of us are still sensitive to your cries. In those moments, love feels obliged. Discomfort will arise. I need you to hear me when I tell you that we need unity way more than we need the trauma response and the side eyes. Healing is what should really be our 9 to the majestic 5s. Earth, air, fire, water, and the ether. Of them, I am a full-time believer. All the elements that stitch us together, designed to be a full-time giver instead of a full-time receiver. In your eyes, I am fine with being viewed as an underachiever. You chose to chase numbers on a screen, whilst I chose to take the time to take my mind deeper. And if you ask me who's wrong, truly, I'd say neither. Once upon a time, I was here wide asleep. Then one day I asked myself, what could you attain here that when you leave, you may have the privilege to keep? There goes that depth. Have they really and truly gone, even though it seems as though they have left? And if energy never dies and only ever transforms, does that mean living is not over even after we take our last breath?
Wow. Next applause. That was some introspective poetry. Again. I feel like this is going so quickly. On deck is Anu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Please correct me. I am. Oh, wonderful. So on deck is Anu. But please now welcome to the stage Steve Selby.
To be so tall, to be a freak, to stand out in the crowd. Oh, to be small, not so unique, to not stand tall and proud. My head may well be in the sky, but I still hear your cruel jibes. The questions which you throw at me bring vicious, nasty vibes. You think you're funny with original wit, but I'm sorry to break your delusion. I've heard your jokes 1,000 times. Your humour is just your illusion. To be stared at by day, to be talked of by night, the paranoia you cause isn't fun. Anxiety, panic, whenever I'm out. I feel trapped by your comments, but I'm too nice to run. No, I don't want to talk about Peter Crouch. And no, I don't play basketball. I'm 48 and out of shape. I'm sure the NBA won't give me a call. And no, my mum didn't make me sleep in a grow bag. And yes, my bed is far too small. And yes, it's hard to get clothes which fit. And no, my parents are not that tall. And no, it isn't cold up here. And yes, I struggle to fit on a plane. And please stop playing Guess My Height. Your inane questions, they drive me insane. Call me Daddy Longlegs, or BFG, or the Green Giant. Is it fun mocking me? I'm too polite to say enough is enough, so I nod along, but my laughter's a bluff. But you know it, I've had it with your insults and cheek, and your cringeworthy comments, you sound so naff. And of course I have to duck to get through doors, and you know it already, but I'm not a giraffe. And sometimes, yes, I bang my head, but the headaches are nothing next to listening to you. If you think I'll let my height define me, then I'm afraid you don't know me. You don't have a clue. I'm worth more than a number. I'm sure others agree. I won't answer your questions, you're far too mean. But as you've asked so many fucking times, the shoes on my feet are a size 14. So next time you see me and you fancy a natter, I'm not a freak show for your jokes and your mirth. Learn some manners or keep your mouth shut and stop acting like my height is all I am worth.
If anyone was thinking of asking him how tall he is or anything tonight. Just don't do it.
I had a couple when I came in, all right?
Yeah. Oh, but that was for them then. They really felt that poem. On deck is Morella Zora? Okay, on deck Morella Zora. But please, for now, welcome to the stage, Anu.
I thought that it was morning sickness. Turns out I just went to bed with a bug in me, or rather something bugging me. I do this thing where when I'm sad, I'll play loud music in my headphones because it feels like the music is hugging me. It's not. It's just blocking those sad thoughts out, watch the good ones rock. Sometimes I think that even with my deep introspection, even when I step back and carefully break my life into sections, I do not understand me. I do not understand why I am always so anxious and so scared and spend my time meticulously planning plan A, only then to rely on plan B. I do not really understand the concept of family. I do not understand a lot. Even with my understanding, I don't know why I expect unconditional love from others when I, at times, fail to unconditionally love myself. Because if I'm not looking good or feeling good on a bad day, then I will give myself hell. So what does that tell you? It tells you I'll end up losing my plan C because both A and B fell through. Only in my head though. Because I'd rather create a whole new plan where I don't understand the potential risk, keyword potential, of things that might not happen but can. Sometimes because I feel so lazy, I put myself in a position where poetry can't save me. Or I put myself in the mind frame that I don't want to be saved. And I get jacked up, rolling around, and my thoughts get wrapped up and start to act up because I don't want to behave. I don't respect myself. Because even after deep introspection, even after I inspect myself, I won't change. I'll stay the same. I'll keep making the same mistakes or my mistakes, playing like a circle going round in my head. Positivity drains me. I wake up wanting to shoot the rainbow. Oops, I think I've missed red. I feel like I don't respect myself. I give so much of myself that by the end I'm empty, but none of that is news to me. I'm just self-aware.
Make some noise. Love your use of rhythm and rhyme there. Beautiful. So on deck is our final slammer for round one, Marcus Stone. But please, for now, welcome to the stage, Morella Zora. Oh my gosh, you can do it better than that.
There is comfort in the chaos of you. Oh, I've studied minds, but I hit hurdles with you. They'd believe that I'm fine, but you knew that wasn't true. There is comfort in the chaos of you. Because I've never known peace. She's a strange concept. So when we argue, I'm believing there's a reason we have met. I'll lay in a bed of nails and sleep like a child who never knew love, but she knew deceit. Like an old friend with a secret you know they won't keep, and you'll mistake my kindness for weakness. You deem me meek. You see, that's my house. First one on the street, where my father would pull the rug right from under my feet. I'm no fool you can have jumping through hoops. I was born into this game. It's ingrained in my roots. There is comfort in the chaos of you. Yes, but it's not chaos I'm looking for. And you have failed my last test.
Howard, make some noise again. Woo! Okay, so we've already got through 12 slammers. Please make some noise if you've enjoyed all the poets so far. Okay, so now we have our 12th and final slammer from round one coming to the stage. So please make him feel very welcome, Marcus Stone.
3 days of snow. A polar bear on ice. I walk from the wounded dead, healthy thoughts in my head. The snow covers my tracks, but you've doubled back. Cracked open, the wound leaks again, blood dripping red into white, politely radiating outward. Outlines of angels, you built a snowman. I built nothing, because I know that everything melts in time, and what's yours isn't mine. You could throw me a line, pull me out, but you're so far away, like a polar bear on shrinking ice. I see you waving, needing help, but it's me, they said, needed saving. I stopped shaving, my saving grace this beard, something warm so near, I cannot face my face anymore. Day 3, the snow is thawing, just a warning that change is imminent, dripping away the stillness, grey mess. It may snow again, they say, but I won't much this time.
Make some noise for each and every one of our round 1 slammers! Wow! So here's what's going to happen now, guys. We're going to have a 20-minute break. We're going to have some music during that break. We're going to get together and add up all of the scores. And when we come back from that 20 minutes, we will let you know who the 6 poets going through to round 2 are. And we will have a full set from Bristol's very own Craft D. So please make some noise once again and enjoy the break. Okay, so something I forgot to say during the break. We were really lucky to get funding from the Arts Council to be able to do this. We feel really passionately that there's so much happening poetry-wise outside of London, and we really wanted to be able to kind of span the breadth of the country just to meet talent and to give opportunities to people outside of the city. And what an incredible first heat this has been. So please make some noise for yourselves, Bristol. We want to keep this slam going year on year and make it bigger and better with more prize money and more poets. So you'll see scattered around some QR codes, and there's 2 different QR codes. One of them is a slam survey, and the slam survey is really, really important because that lets us know what you love and what you hate about slam in general. We're trying to shape this slam for the community over the years, so it will mould and change and move to suit the needs of the community rather than what we think slam should be. We want to try and create something that meets your needs. So we're trying to get at least 100 poets in total, or 100 people to fill that out in total, so that we've got a really good idea of what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and how we can grow. And the other is a feedback form. Now, the feedback form will take you a couple of minutes, but the Arts Council have a whole load of boxes that we need to tick in order to say this slam is wanted and it's working. So please do scan those QR codes before you leave. And if you can take the time to fill them out afterwards, we'd be really, really grateful. Now, are you ready to find out who made round 2? So, first and foremost, I want to commend every single poet that got up here in round 1. I can tell you that there was like 0.1 and 0.2 between these scores. It was that close. But we have our 6 poets, and this is in no particular order, but our 6 poets going through to round 2 are Morella Zora, Jada, Bronwen Wilson Rashad, Ben Vince, Erin McDonald, and Sam J. Grudges. So here's what's going to happen. We will go into round 2. The same rules apply. 3 minutes, 10 seconds grace, 0.5 taken off for every 10 seconds after that. This is not a cumulative score. So everything that happened in round 1 goes out the window now. Round 2 is a fresh round, a fresh start, and a fresh chance to get up here and show the audience and the judges what you've got. Same as before, I'll let you know Actually, we need to, I should have said who's on deck first, shouldn't I? So you've got time to mic them up. Don't worry, I can talk about some other stuff. So Mirella Zora will be going first and Jada is on deck. So Mirella, if you can come and get mic'd up, and Jada, if you can be ready to be, on deck. And what else do I need to tell you? God, I didn't script this bit and I can't tell jokes and I don't want to...
Do you have a poem?
Okay, I'll do a poem. Oh, okay, this is called The Rose That Grew From Concrete. It's a love poem. Hope you like it.
We love you.
As kids, we used to listen to Me Against the World and smoke weed around the round table, setting the world to rights and sharing dreams. I wanted to be a poet. And you? All you ever wanted to do was rap, be bigger than Pac. As your fingers crushed buds, my heart skipped beats. You were my secret crush. I'd fantasize that I could one day be the Bonnie to your Clyde. Your perfect green eyes were red. They were so fucking red, but they were white. You were sweet and shy. As your luscious lips licked wet mango blunts, I couldn't help but blush. They were your favourite flavour and you were mine. That summer was the best. I Just Wanna Sang was pretty much on repeat, and every time track 11 played, we'd lock eyes and share a secret smile. That track was us. And for a while, I really thought that we would flow forever. We used to talk deeply, daily. But daily soon became weekly, and weekly became monthly, until suddenly it was rarely. Oh, I heard the rumours, but paid no mind. They said that you had lost your mind and could not find it. They labelled it schizophrenia, brought about by a drug-induced psychosis. How the fuck did I not notice? You locked yourself away from reality. I missed you. As your memories fragmented, you no longer trusted me or anyone. Your thoughts went to war with your emotions, and our friendship was just one casualty. As you fell to pieces, so too did my heart. You started scaring people, becoming unpredictable and violent. I knew you must have been frightened. Delusions fed your confused state. They said you were dangerous. You, my mate, the gentle giant. They locked you up and pumped you full of drugs. I didn't know what to do or how to help. I tried to reach you, but you had already travelled too far into darkness and could no longer see my light. You used to speak with passion and fight. But as time went by, you died inside, and I selfishly mourned the loss of our friendship. Your shattered dreams left me with lacerations, wounded and filled with anger. I'd listen to DMX on repeat. The Great Depression saved me from depression through expression. Devastated, confused, guilty. Oh, I was vexed. Why you? What did you ever do? Were you cursed? Were you hexed? You deserved a fair shot at your dreams too. Didn't you? You were the rose that tried to grow but never made it through the concrete. I will never forget those sweet summers. I miss you. Thank you very much. Okay, are we all mic'd up and ready to go? Are you ready for round 2 of Mind Over Sound? Okay, so please make some noise for Mirella Zora. Come on, we can do better than that.
If a tree falls like Grenfell, can it silence wars these men sell? They say drop the swords, but then kill. Too late, the men fell back on their word like Grenfell, 'cause when men fall upon their swords, that echo haunts the depths of hell. Profit over people has your soul on resale, so when a tree falls, I feel compelled to seek the saw and then scream rebel. There is nothing more to lose. Hell, don't you see? listen carefully. That's centuries of existence carried off by artillery shell. Now when a tree falls in the woods, there's no one left to tell.
Wow. A powerful start to round two. On deck is Bronwen Wilson Rashad, but now welcome back to the stage, Jada.
We should attempt to achieve our personal bests, as doing so can have dispersing effects. Hearts can beat stronger in chests when put under positive pressure. Importantly, we should never measure the worth of our treasure based upon someone else failing to notice that our presence is an absolute pleasure to share. We should care more for those who hold fort spare for strangers, for those souls are becoming endangered here on earth. Loving with no desire for anything in return can give birth to sanctitude, causing collaborations to reach magnitudes beyond comprehension. If living this life had a fee, then it would be best paid in attention. May I not fail to mention, we should only miss moments for blinking. Never miss the moment being ruled by overthinking. If it feels comfortable, then take a seat and sink in. Consider too, a safe place is being offered. Those with the most love to give act as though they ain't bothered, only until softened by stability. We should spend more time testing the limits of each other's capabilities. Through physical activities, improving our cognitive function, encouraging the mind and body to be in closer in conjunction, harmony. It is much healthier, instead of arguing, if you would just put on these gloves and spar with me, or let us go and play some archery, aiming for the target to see how far we could reach. We should be persistently pursuing less speech, making more room for doing. What could we achieve if only we believed in creating temples out of ruins? Yeah.
I'm loving hearing the room like, We've got more mms than clicks, and I think I like it. Okay, on deck is Ben Vince, but please welcome back to the stage, Bronwen Wilson Rashad.
I kill everyone I know. Not to be dramatic, but going on my data set. And if you say anecdotal to me, I will wring your neck, which would be a hilarious self-fulfilling prophecy. Yet, I digress. My evidence is this: 3 brothers dead, all in different ways. That's surely a mistake, also a threat. The remaining 3 of us joke about which one of us is next. 4 best friends, all dead. Dead, 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 dead. Misogyny and the patriarchy played a role in 4, symptoms ignored, questions unanswered, people minimising their pain. And yes, we do know our bodies best, but it's hard to hear with the noise of centuries of white men telling us, documenting us, drowns out the quiet rhythm in our guts. Dumb luck and dumb youth played a role in 1, falling off the cob at Lyme, but no romantic ending like in Jane's Persuasion. He fell the wrong way into waves and arms. 2, had alcohol play a part, but it's only a means to an end. It's the reason behind why those bottles were sunk, a symptom of the care that wasn't there at the start. Cancer in 3, fuck cancer. It's just a disease, and it ate them up, which isn't fair. 1 baby, 10 weeks. But stop now. It's too much. Too many, too late, too hard. I have been grieving since the day I was born. I knew from the way my mum sat in the hospital I'd just birthed my twins in that my brother had had his life turned off at that precise moment. I mean, I get it, life and death. You don't have to rub it in. Salted wounds, I am flaky with scabs. I would turn it all back. I wouldn't change it at all. I am glad I have this knowledge and I would give it away in an instant. Born to death, I can hear it in a voice, a pause, my inheritance and empathy forged in loss. So watch out. Maybe don't get too close because it's seemingly pretty fatal to know me. Or maybe, as has been proved of late, not knowing all this is fatal to many. The callous leaders we have, they never think they will die. That if someone does, it's somehow their fault, a failure, a rejection, a defence. Because if they knew, if they really held grief in their heart, if they sat with it and made it their friend, talked with it, been gentle with it, plaited its hair, if they knew what it is to suffer, if they knew that life and when it's taken away are always unfair, they wouldn't be able to hold us all in such contempt. This one wild and precious life.
Okay. On deck is Erin MacDonald, but please now welcome back to the stage Ben Vince.
An ecstasy of. I don't do things in singulars. I watch birds unzip the sky, shake it, but I won't take notice if a lone flash tumbles loose. It's flock or nothing. Unroll a carpet of birch, just don't let me stand in the mucky offcut. Tangle me in claws, hook vines to my follicles, make me play hopscotch in a daffodil minefield. If I end up on one leg with a lonely weed's chalk outline, I'll put my foot down, stamp the stalk into a great smithereens of plural, go full adult on this naive Eden. Don't just give me a world. Give me abundance, give me a dozen hay fever sneezes and all the pesky pollen conjuring them. Give me 1,000 gleaming pistils firing their spring starters. Give me wicker weaves of friendly cackles. Give me too much to hold and nothing to hold it in. Give me ooze gluing unknowns to skin. Give me sunlight galore. Give me every sunset blasted through a lifetime smudgy prism. Give me a heart sounding endless, its whole polyrhythm. Give me mirth, give me inhuman amounts of birth, give me a body of eyes swiveling out their sockets, give me up, give me down, and every feather, dust stain, microbe, hour and day, taking unbelievable flight in this car park pigeon's corkscrew delight.
Wow, I said give me poetry and Bristol delivered. On deck, Sanjay Grudgeons. Please welcome back to the stage Erin MacDonald.
I was raised a pacifist, but I grew up a soldier, training quietly for a war that isn't mine, and now they call us an army. Like our dissenting cries are a battlefield of bodies, like we are not the gravestones waiting to be planted. But sometimes we are just silly, naive children, playing dress up in a world that wasn't made for us, all made up with nowhere to go, and they tell us we are making it all up. Like the bridges we are burning weren't constructed in the first place. I'm tired of being told I'm playing make-believe. Just look around you and notice the people like me. We are not playing. We are soldiers, conscripted by a state of being that didn't fit us. We are not coming for your house. We are merely burning the walls they built around us, and if this was a threat, you would know by now. But still we march in cities on opposite sides of the streets. Her sign says, "Stop erasing women," like we don't learn the names of dead trans people from Instagram feeds instead of the news. And all I want is the woman in me erased. And she is standing there, far more visible than we have been all our lives. We share a bus bench, and I think how, in the barracks of my teenage years, I was waiting for the day when someone would try and erase me too. I told you, we are soldiers, spent years training for these moments. The fear of God instilled in us by films like Brokeback Mountain and Boys Don't Cry. We were raised on stories that we would die at the hands of bigots. So why would I try and erase you? Why not just live my life like the candle you have made me before someone decides to blow me out? You don't have to join us, but trust me, you sure as hell don't want to be left behind. Thank you.
Okay, round two went like that. We have one more slammer for round two. Please welcome Sam J. Grudgeons back to the stage.
I don't tell you how often I think of setting myself on fire. Once a week, me and the other arsonists who think ourselves firefighters sit in circles and clutch the warmth of coffee against our weakness. We tell each other we will not drink. We do not talk of the kindling, of the cold or our real names. Instead, we hold these coffees up like purpose that we will never drink again. We listen to one another. We talk. And at first, I tell them I know exactly how it feels when a bottle calls you a god. It is only when I listen to them that I learn my name means two gods having a conversation. One man says how his means that he was the boy who ate what was given to him. He learned to starve himself by eating himself, and how to become an argument. My name means joke. My name means dispute. My name means because. And these definitions are proof of how people like us are prone to decay. How failure is a common result of escapism. How for all my bravado, I am no end. I am just a beginning that doesn't know what the next step is yet. But when all you have to stand to inherit from your name is its violent history, you will understand why we seek out so hard to find sobriquets, how you must always call your last move before you make it, and how I call myself surrender. I am surrender, swallowed in the absence of sustenance. Repeat, I am surrender, swallowed in the absence of sustenance. Repeat, I am surrender, swallowed in the absence of sustenance. Repeat, repeat, repeat until no longer necessary. We do not talk of how, if this don't kill me, then nothing will. Because my name means I am immortal. Because my name means I will live forever in the hope of becoming a memory. If I could be nearly half the man I thought I was, it would have to suffice. But my name is the paradox's cause between who I was and who I am. My name is everyone who loved me went the wrong way because they followed me, and I never taught them the trick of not stepping on the cracks in paving slabs or remembering to wake up before they hit the ground. The most frequently heard name called out on the way down is so far so good. And I can tell you from experience that anyone's name can mean falling, so why don't you tell people who've just lost themselves they only need to get better at finding? Maybe then you will understand why tomorrow is a promise that I cannot make. So today will have to suffice because I am no end. I am a prologue to better days that don't end just because I do. I am saint of absent dialogues and god of unhealed wounds. 7 years is a long time to spend remaining nameless, but it is better than a decade spent without deserving one. So my name is this does not feel like a resolution, like an ending, because it isn't one.
Wow! Please give it up for every single poet from round two. The standard of poetry tonight thus far has been absolutely incredible. Make some noise if you have enjoyed what you've heard tonight. Wow. Okay, so Mind Over Matter launched in 2017, and our first ever headline act at Mind Over Matter was, in fact, none other than Craft D, who is our first ever headline poet for Mind Over Summer all these years later, so we've gone full circle. So for those of you that don't know, Craft D is a rapper, a poet, a cultural producer, a facilitator, an educator, and a 2 times UK rap battle champion. Yeah, serious. His work explores like this crossover between rap and poetry, but something that I'm sure many of you already know and some of you don't, Craft D is a huge contributor to the arts here in Bristol. He is the co-founder, co-director. Let me make sure I get this right. He is, the co-director of the annual Bristol Poetry Festival, which happens every April. And he's also coordinating the Bristol Palestine Film Festival, which starts on the 2nd of December, so make sure you check that out. But tonight, please enjoy a full set from Bristol's very own Craft D! Make some noise when he gets to the stage. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Yeah.
This is Clave. Now, I bought in Cuba. The musicians there put me to shame massively. I'm gonna give this a go. Hold up. A lot of do a lot of rap with young people, and a lot of they all listen to drill and trap. Like all of them. It's all they listen to. And some of the content is like abhorrent. So I'm listening to it, I'm like, yeah, this, can't comment, really. And there's a deep level of understanding. This is real people's lives, the things that are being rapped about. Like, it's not always suitable for a 14-year-old kid, but it's real, and to some of those people, it's real, and these are people's lived experiences, and I've lived a sheltered existence from that, so there's no judgment. I say that to say this. The beats, however, are incredible. The beats I love. So I'm like, yeah, this beat goes hard, but that's my response to them saying they like the song. I'm not saying anything else. But I wanted to make a little trap flow, but kind of change the content a little bit. This is about aliens and spaceships. Check it out, copter whipping, saving not to shop for it. Guess it's more a cosmic disco, some would say a rocket ship, a quarter of a century. I dreamed about a proper trip, way above the atmosphere and far away from politics. I met this girl I really like, she's kinda like an alien. Said she don't belong in here, she said she's not the same as them. I said I feel the same as her, and then we kept exchanging words, how we felt this way from birth, how we're out of place on earth. I said that this is all I got, she said that's all you need to be. She said that she don't like the people, she just like the scenery. Damn, you even think like me, come with me, let's get out of here. Cruise across the outer sphere, we'll come back in 1,000 years. I said that I don't like this planet, come into my spaceship. Everything is night, alright? You won't need a day shift, 1,000,000 miles across the sky. Let's see how far we'll take this. Places that are unaffected, governed by the natives. She said that she don't like this planet, everybody racist. Every day she checked the web, and every day the same everyone complain about it, no one tried to change it. Maybe there's a wormhole out there, maybe we can shape shift. Yeah, maybe there's a special place, maybe there's a rocket portal, maybe they suppressed our greatness and we were once immortal. What is different, what is normal, what's official, what is formal, what's efficient, what's a dawdle, what's a symptom, what is causing clouds of grey, moving fast, need how good day, Guten Tag, I'm now afraid, who's in charge? I'm out of space, a shooting star, I think it's time to leave this place. Asian goodbye, I'll be the same. Stab me in the back, cause that's just how I know I'm Caesar Great. So if my disc is spinning, it's just to prove we bleed the same. And if my disc is spinning, that's my UFO, you'll be amazed. Arrivederci humanoids, I'm leaving here to live in space. I won't throw no goodbye party, I don't think we'll miss this place. We'll come back and we'll visit when the earth is in a different age. We'll keep an eye on you, but it will be across the Milky Way. Protons, gas and molecules, the flow is astronomical. I'm loading stacks of rocket fuel to go and track the oracle. I'm standing at the edge, no, don't hold me back, I want it all. And if you're really on it too, I know the land won't stop the fool. We're going to run through these bars because I'm going a couple minutes over. I'm not going to be 2 or 3 minutes over, so I want to run through these bars and respect the host. Speaking of which, can we just give a massive big up to Miss Yankee, because no one's made those for Miss Yankee. Incredible poet, incredible host. What an event. Mind over matter team, nothing but love for Skeet, all the team. This has been sick. Miss Yankee, you mentioned rap, poetry, those things have been a big journey for me over the past 10 years. I see rap and poetry and everything. They are equal. Rap is poetry. Poetry is rap. Yes. And this is a piece about that. We're going to go all the way through. Let me take a drink. There's a lot of words in this one. This is hip-hop, this is poetry, this is national, this is overseas, Poison Ink, Low-Key and Tony D. John Donne's quill when he wrote The Fleas, Jackson's thriller to This Is It. Beat poets to Rizzle kicks, live television unscripted wit, they think it's all over. 66, Golden Gate, the new acapella, crew raps, Wu-Tang forever, 7th Chamber, that word life, celebrations on Burns Night, that's bagpipers and drunk scotch, cab drivers and bus stops, rap ciphers and club songs, campfires and punk rock, that punk metal, Hellraiser, punk poets, Joel Taylor, gang Harlem rap, jazz sample track, Shambhala slams, Grandmaster flash lines on 9s and 47s, theatre makers, storytellers, revolutionaries, Black Panthers, rap stanzas, gang anthems, bandanas, balaclava, peace speakers, Dalai Lama, pastoral technique, cattle farmer, immortal technique, and Akala, flags in Gaza, freedom fights, Rafi's Yada, we teach life, theatre fillers and superstars, the New Eurekans to Cooper Clark, the heavy hearts, heavy conscience, A-God, Kwesi Johnson riding the patterns of Fresh Prince braid, Hendrix played, Kendrick made, Lemsis say on the BBC or Netflix made on the TV screen, a Leonard Cohen or Patti Smith verse, Albert Hallwood, Allen Ginsberg, the priests who practice what they preach, Ella Fitzgerald, scatting on a beat, Serena's hands, Maradona's feet, Chaucer's English, Aristotle's Greek and philosophy, writing a thesis, hieroglyphs, scribes on papyrus in Egypt, inventing lyrical, never given talks, postmodern, metaphysical, football commentary, match of the day, float like a butterfly, Cassius Clay, all of the man speaking radical change, all of the man they rap on the stage who were kicking and dribbling the Brazilian way, written and scribbled them on the minimum wage, William Wordsworth, William Blake, William Shakespeare, William Yeats, made a revolution, Gil Scott Heron, made a lightning trip, John Lennon stopped the damn match when Jim Ross tell them all the best-selling authors and hip-hop legends, I am the warrior's war cry song, I am the rapper who all eyes on, 16 bars are a fortnight long, 1984451, sci-fis and dystopia, Einstein, Erwin Schrödinger, Bible and Psalms, singing hymns, lines of Quran, religious scripts, Book of the Dead to the Book of Prize, bookings for sets to books of rhymes, the shook and shy, the ones who showboat, rock and stone cold, dropping promos, break dancers and rock steady, spitting on streets and on telly, Brian Clough riling up Don Revy, Simon Munnery, John Hegley, prop heavy, live literature, wide cinemas, prime ministers, Busta Rhymes on time signatures, funny lines, Spike Milligan, brilliant raps, a gift of the gap, Sylvia Plath with a script for her dad, Q-Tip, Rakim, Diddy and Nas, Rick Richards is a killer, Biggie and Pac, live bass and drumming loud, Miles Davis, trumpet sounds, Eminem, my name is Underground, Lupe on Mural and Dumb It Down, 140 grime or rock tempo, sick Dre beats, on death row, Slim Shady in the wrong dress code, Disraeli saying bomb Tesco, Milton's poems to punchlines, if you're Wilfred Owen on front lines, or you write tunes in prison cells, haikus or villanelles, headstones or baptisms, free verse, rap rhythms, Corbyn at Glastonbury, MLK, I have a dream, lyric poets with music scores, root and cause through the troubadours to troubled waters and orc choirs, Paul Simon, Lord Byron, K Tempest on Channel 2, Hallelujahs on Baptist tunes, rapping crews, jazz and blues, Angelou, Langston Hughes, rappers who DJ, spray and beatbox, poet historians, ancient griots, the ways and ethos, made in Africa, came from Africa, stayed in Africa, the same diaspora, making that, created rap and later slam, the Stony Tablet to the Dolby Digital, Kane and Cool G on multi-syllables, civil rights to the chartists, royal courts to the working classes, Mark Grist, battle rappers, outlandish patterns that smash the canon, that's immaculate, Soul and Bender, the old inventor like Nikola Tesla, no token gestures, Olympic Games, Shane Koizan, to this day, the reader, the memorizer, Pam Ayres, Zephaniah, George VI with a speech impediment, a portrait drawn by T.S. Eliot, 5 collections, 5 slam wins, translations, sign language, rhyme schemes, iambics, right side brain, right-handed, Baldwin with the left hand, Saul Williams on Def Jam, Most Def, the performance and the process, the performance at the protest of what you're saying, I see you later, a laptop, a piece of paper, a written page, a vocal scream, it's hip-hop, it's poetry. Big up all of you. Have a great night. Big up Mind Over Matter. My name's Danny, aka Crafty.
Was everything, and that's everything we embody at Mind Over Matter. I see poetry in everything around me, and it should be for everyone and anyone, whether it's page, whether it's slam, whether it's spoken word. That piece was mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Give it up one more time for Craft. Here. Wow. So we're going to take a short 10-minute break. Before I go to the break, I just wanted for us to make some noise. First and foremost for Trev, who's been spinning tunes for us tonight, and will be joining the break. Yeah. For our photography and film crew, for James, Sam, and Fury. My Mind Over Matter team who make things happen. Fisky, Anna, and the wonderful Betsy Betts, who's been greeting you tonight. And Zed Ali for giving us such a sick venue. You got 10 minutes, get your drinks, have a toilet break, we will be back. Are you ready for our final round, Bristol? Once again, the scores were so close. Don't make me go teach mode on you, Fisky, because you're the ringleader of the conversation at the back of the room. There was literally like a 0.1, like it was so close, which is a testament to just the quality of poetry that we saw in round two. But we do have 3 finalists, and the order that I'm going to read them out is no particular order, but it will be the running order of how you're going to be on stage. So when I call the first 2 names, please come and get mic'd up and ready to go. So can we get like a little... Okay. So our 3 finalists are Erin, Ben, and Sam. Please come and get mic'd up, Erin, Ben. So, round 3, again, will run like the first 2 rounds. Each poet gets 3 minutes to come up on stage and perform their final piece. Now, the winner and the first runner-up today will go through to our Grand Slam final for a chance to win that £1,000 prize. Yeah, some noise for the £1,000. And they will have all of their expenses paid to be able to come to London. We've got an incredible Grand Slam venue just off of Leicester Square, central London. It's going to be an incredible night. So yeah, are we mic'd up and ready? So please welcome back Erin to the stage.
There are no lights at sea. You thought perhaps the moon would light your way like an encouraging beacon, but your luck ran out. Seeped through your feet into the sand as you heaved your trembling body into the boat, a shallow rubber pit that dipped beneath your feet. You were one of the first. Hope in your heart until another van drew up and another 20 people climbed aboard. They pushed you out into a careless sea, your money in their pockets, your life no longer in their hands. They had passed you to another master, crueler than any smuggler, and it tried to tear each and every one of you apart. There are no lights at sea, only a thick, ominous darkness that dampens you from every side. They must have paid the moon to stay away tonight, knew it would take longer to notice the water at your feet if you could not see. You were one of the lucky ones, that's what they tell you. You saw daylight again, saw the line of a shore or the slip of a ship on the horizon. You jumped into the water to find land beneath your feet. Relief, for you had never learned to swim. You walked with your phone between your teeth until each and every limb was free from the sea's bubbling reach. There are no lights at sea. But now you're on land, the light is blinding your eyes, yet somehow the path ahead is still in darkness. Here and there are helping hands, but mostly you'll move like cattle from an island to the city where you become a number. A number in line behind thousands, a teenager starved of independence, your life weighing on a small piece of white paper. Your status lowered from citizen to other. A life outside the lines and still confined, yet time passes. There are no lights at sea. No pollution of the sky here, so on clear nights you could see the stars. You told me all this in a bar. I hadn't asked, but the story came out anyway. It had been over 3 years since. In the time between, you had seen cracks in the city's smoggy haze. The moon came out to find you again, but this time it hit you like a searchlight. On days when this home was too small for you and your real home was far away, I think your home will always be far away. And the constellations of the sky here will never be quite the same. There are no lights at sea. You found me bouncing from wave to wave so aimlessly. Taught me there is more to life than this continuous drifting. You showed me a boat, broken and crowded, filled with uncertainty as the water made its way in. How our journeys here were so inexplicably different, yet somehow you are still the lighthouse, your light a beacon, forever guiding me home. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam, if you want to come and get mic'd up, you're on deck. In the meantime, please welcome Ben back to the stage.
Hecate goes to an underground rave. Eyes like inkwells, unhinged jaws of jittered grins, the throng pumps, quakes, warps and pulsates over the mudding field like a spasming hex of unearthed roots. Rising from a self-made clearing limpeted in glitter, Hecate braids her hair with reeds, slips charms under clasps, hems, straps in her sweated costume, weaving twisted infinities into the squalid night. She whispers incantations to the retrograde rhythm, casting lines of smoke-thinned laughter in a net of swollen light. She will not feel empty in the morn, nor fear the encroaching dawn. No harm, no tears, no malady, no boiling cauldron head, for she, music, make her frolic, play, rip that deck, oh magic DJ. Hecate carries a Hessian sack filled with vials and thorns and mushroom caps, haggling wares in hushed tones. Heads cock, double take, swivel, rotate, scan for the phantom sample source, undercutting, pounding thrums, dust whisper tucked in tumbling bass, syncopating, legs, tongue, stomachs to the glitch step with rhythm, 300 hearts overcharged, all blur, all speed, all vain thunder, kick drums, tear atoms asunder, music, pummel, scrape, dismay, rip that deck, oh wicked DJ, ghosting the undergrowth. In pointerless glitter mists, she dries a stray forehead on a bruised stamen, squeezes drops into parched throats. Oh, mother, slime mother of swollen night and half-tranced temple, sorceress, coaxing visions into racy compliance, webbing startled threads of song and repetition and white-hot melody across bodies inured to context, unhooked minds elasticated, a witch of drum, witch of drug, witch of inside out, witch of grass, of dance floor, of altar, witch of no heels, all leather, witch of baggy, of substance, of hawthorn and heather, witch of disc, witch of mix, witch of night, live not to be remembered purely. We flounce, we fly, we freewheel dance, we know each other in a glance. Music, crack our pure filth runway, rip that deck, oh holy DJ.
The standard is high. Wow. Thank you. Okay, are you ready for our final finalist of the night? Make some noise for Sanjay Grudges. Come on, guys, it's the last poet of the night. You can do better than that. Yeah.
This poetry shit is hard, so I fed a robot my poems and asked it to write a poem for me. Open brackets, note to the audience, this is a poetic device and not an artificial intelligence device. Close brackets, open brackets for our robot overlords. I love you. Close brackets. Spotlit stage! It is soft. There is no sound. There are approximately 5 ears. Everyone agrees it is a poem because the stage is in iambic pentameter. Sanjay Grudgings gesticulates wildly into existence. I am coffee, and that is okay. Some mms. This poem was a villanelle, but it got better. Effect voice. Here is a letter that you are. I wrote to me in the past when I was a metaphor, but I didn't know any better, or worse, or maths, or the capital of France, or the lowercase of France. Are you coffee? Might I solve a problem about you by talking loudly? Teeth fall out of his pocket. Someone will later write that better at another stage and pretend they never saw me. There is a dead friend, but she too is a metaphor. I am gay for the audience, but bisexual if you ask politely. Here, the line break indicates a pause or change of pace. Here, the comma indicates a line break, which indicates your relationship with your father. Encourage the audience to feel sad. Is your grief profitable? Is my trauma sexy? Look sternly at the audience, then remind them that this is a slam poem and you've got a very clever idea. You've got to get a very clever idea and clever metaphors across in 3 minutes. So please stop applauding me, much as I love the validation. Ask everyone if they are okay, rather than if the poem is. Point individually to the audience and accuse them of something catastrophic. Oh, sorry, I'm reading out the stage direction, sadly. That last bit was also the stage direction, sadly. Pause for laughter, sudden silence times 2. The audience stops for a commercial break. 3 become flowers. Today is an idea that you didn't show you're working out for. This poem is an act of cowardice for all the words I didn't say. This is made of, open bracket, insert interesting but ultimately too obscure for the intended audience metaphor here. Close brackets. You left me. This poem is sorry that it hasn't introduced you to its mother yet. This poem will slap your keister, call you sport, then stare off into the vague middle distance and ask why it has no poems of its own. This poem is 3 years later and has 3 baby poems. This way it becomes a story and engages the audience. My mouth is bees, and that is a lesson, probably. Make sure the audience were thinking you were talking about something different the entire time, so that when you reveal the metaphor, they feel clever because they are complicit in the poem. Show you're working. Here is a poll that lets you decide the ending of this poem. Can I be sexy therapy? Am I loud enough? Here are 5 lessons I learned from your mum. Number 1, February. Number 2, when I met you, I had been speed reading self-help books again. Number 3, if you see a Boy Scout and you do not thank him for his service to this country, what kind of a citizen of the world are you? Number 4, ways to satisfy your occult lover with sadness from tomorrow, but it's yesterday. I am not doing well. I am a cup of coffee with teeth that are sober. 5, I have never had a sexual experience. My first sexual experience was a poem. My first sexual experience was this poem.
Make some noise for our 3 finalists. Bristol, you really delivered tonight, man. I'm blown away. The quality of poetry. So here's what's going to happen. We need maybe like 5-10 minutes just to add up the scores and figure out who your winner for tonight is. So, no, I'm not doing a poem yet. Leave me alone. No poems. So we're going to take a few minutes, but what I would like us to do in the break, well, I say us like all of us, I would love it if the 12 slammers from tonight could come up to the stage just for a couple of photos so we can make use of that window so that afterwards they don't take up your time when you're trying to go home and go and chat and stuff. That would be wonderful. I'd love to capture all of you together because you've all been incredible. So make some noise for everyone involved tonight, and we'll be back in 10. Okay, welcome back to Mind Over Slammer. How are you feeling about the poetry that you've heard tonight, guys? Did you enjoy yourselves? I always feel like with nights like this, hopefully each and every one of you gets to just take a little piece of something back with you that resonated with you, that you'll take away. So, are you ready for me to announce our first runner-up and our winner? Okay, I'm not going to make you wait and do loads of talking before. We're just going to get into it. So let's have a drum roll for our first runner-up. And our first runner-up is Ben. Please come to the stage. So our winner of the first heats of Mind Over Slammer is Erin! Thank you. I just want to say what an incredible final round that was. Once again, there was smidgens in it. It was incredibly close, but thank you for bringing such a high quality of poetry to the stage and really representing for Bristol this evening. Bristol, are you happy with your runner-up? So Ben and Erin will hopefully be free to travel down to London for our Grand Slam final next year. Please do, if you can, use the QR codes and fill in this survey and the feedback for us, because we want to come back and we want to do more of this. Feel free to stick around and chat. We're going to play some music. Thank you to Zed Ali, to the Mind Over Matter team, to the film photography group, and to you guys for coming and supporting everyone. We have been Mind Over Slammer. Thank you very much for coming, guys. Thank you.